think we have some stragglers probably still coming in, but we'll jump right into it. For those who have not been in a laundry room before, this is nothing more than a shoot the shit type of conversation. Everyone just shares, what they have. This is not a presentation by me or anybody else. This is just kind of a know each other, get to know some best practices, and take them back to your business, and see what you can do with it. So we're talking about marketing strategies to grow your business today. Would love to focus on more of the how do I say this? I like to say grow what you own. So instead of growing, another company or another ad agency or another, Yelp page or anything like that, I like to grow what I own. Because as soon as you stop paying your Yelp agent, fraudster that they are, or stop paying for those Google leads, or stop paying for, you get the idea. The leads stop. You stop getting anything out of it, and as soon as the money stops flowing, they stop sending you business, and you've really not gained anything in the long term, other than what little repeat business you might get out of it for your clients that you get from it. But I find that to be like a short-term shot in the arm when you go and market that way, as opposed to growing what you own. Some examples are wrapping your trucks, business cards, leave behinds. This is stuff that establishes your brand, and I think is much more valuable, because the growth that you get from it is your own. You own it. So and it only continues to pay out in multiples as you grow. What are some things you guys are doing that is something that you own, maybe helping your image, helping your brand, something maybe creative out there?
Yeah,
What do
this
you got,
is
Doug? Oh, go ahead, Paul.
Paul in St. Louis. Yeah. Every once in a while, if I remember, we leave behind, magnets for the refrigerator it's basically a business card, but it's magnetic.
Yeah,
That's
no,
one thing that we've
that's
done.
huge. I mean, stickers, leave behinds. This is what this is what I leave behind with every customer. It's a little folder, and when you open the folder, it tells a little bit about the company and our policies, and it also, you have a sticker, a magnet, and a business card in every one. It's got a QR code to leave us reviews. So it's a nice little leave behind that every customer gets when we leave their house. We tell the technicians to actually pull the sticker off and put it on the appliance in an inconspicuous place. But somewhere where, for example, when you open the dryer door, stick it, right there where it's not seen, unless you open the door. But the customer can still get to it when they need it. So yeah, I love stickers, magnets, leave behinds. Anyone else have any leave behinds or stickers? Or feel free to turn your camera on and show it if you've got one.
I got an interesting one that might only apply to me. So,
Okay.
when you go grocery shopping, need a coin to unlock the shopping carts.
Yeah.
I make these that have my logo and my phone number on the back to unlock shopping carts.
That's funny.
Like, they're very commonplace in Canada. So you plug it in,
Wait,
you
wait, wait,
unlock the
wait,
shopping
wait,
cart.
wait, wait, wait. Is
You're
it in
spamming the
place of the
system.
coin? It's like a Jimmy?
Yeah.
What?
It took a lot of work to get there, but they cost me about 9 cents to make. And I
Wow.
hand them everybody, bartenders get them, everybody, drive-through people get them at the 9 cents a piece. Who cares, right?
That
And
is,
people use them all the time.
That's why I like to be Patrick's friend. I thought he made a holder for his quarter so that he could get a card. No, he figured out how to beat the system and puts his name on the outside and says, if you want someone smart, give us a call because it's me, right?
I feel like Patrick's the guy that attaches strings to quarters when he does his laundry at the coin op laundry. That is great. I love it. Did you 3D print that, or how did you get that idea?
Yeah, so I bought my wife a car last year and they had a metal one that would get stuck on you, had to be left on your keys. And then over time, I found out my sister had one that's just 3D printed. She paid like $4 for it. So I bought a 3D printer.
Nice.
Took a couple things to get it designed properly. And then, yeah, bought a 3D printer and I legitimately have boxes full of them.
Are
So
you
I can-
taking orders? You want David Costanza wants 1,000. Is
I
that
do.
right?
I'm ready to buy. That is,
Yeah, so yeah, it's not very useful in the States, but Walmart here, you need the Looney to unlock the shopping cart. So
wow. Yeah, we have Aldi. Aldi has the quarter system.
Yeah.
What a great idea. That is super cool. Anyone else got like a super cool idea like Patrick?
No, nobody else wants to talk now, David.
Yeah,
So don't
nobody's gonna beat
reiterate with
that.
a follow-up question of who wants to be as cool as Patrick. It's not going to happen.
It's
All right.
so true.
I'll try to bring it back to reality and sort of lame so that the rest of you guys will feel comfortable to share now after Patrick. I feel like, being in this business a long time, people want to call us back because something memorable happened. There's something unique that stood out. And so for some of us, we can do that just because it's part of our nature to say to treat their dog with love and respect because you could tell they're an amazing dog lover. But it's hard to coach your team to do things like that. So I do try to automate some stuff. I would say we got like a 10-15% involvement rate, but it's a send out cards subscription. And so I keep reminding my CSRs, office staff managers, and technicians, anytime you're with the customer on the phone or in their home and there's something special going on, just log in and say, congratulations on your son's upcoming wedding. Patrick from Action Appliance. You hit send, they write it out, they mail it out, and it goes out the next day. So I don't know. We probably do 30 to 60 of those a month out, but it could be better. But it's just another way to try to help them, just go, that was a really cool experience. And that guy, David, was amazing. I would definitely call him again.
What program are you using for that?
This one's called sendoutcards.com. And a monthly subscription, pretty cheap. When we send the renewal via service plans that we have out, that's another couple hundred a month that'll go out to say thanks again for renewing your subscription, your membership with us. We really appreciate you, and we'll try to remember if whatever the first time they used us, so that's a little personalized. Thanks for being with us since 2010, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Authentic, but not so authentic if it's part of a process, right?
Yeah, but still
Yeah.
really cool. What a great way to make connection. We have like the CSRs and technicians put in the attention notes. Any sort of connection piece that they get, we use service desk so that we call them attention notes, but it's basically a note to the technician. Hey, their dog Fluffy is, I heard a dog barking in the background and it was their dog Fluffy.
Yeah.
Mention that when you get to the door, and tech will get there and say, oh, it's Fluffy. Is
Yeah.
Fluffy there? Or whatever. Or tech's in the house and the wife just lost her husband or something like that. They'll put that in a note on there, and if the office calls later or they call into the office later, hey, I'm so sorry for your loss. There's kind of keeps everyone in the loop on the connection that we make with our customers. And I think you hit it on the head where you say, that's what gets them to call back, is that connection. I love the card idea. Can I give you my address and have you send a card to me so I can
I'll
see?
send you one because I love you, David. So I'll send you a card that just says I love you. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Perfect. What else you guys got? Carmine, are you doing anything fun, marketing wise?
For For me, well, we are a nationwide marketing group, so
Oh, there you go.
No
Yeah.
pressure.
yeah.
Very cool. What do you recommend? What are you seeing success with your clients?
I don't know, a lot of the times, a lot of leave behinds, like I've been hearing from the group. A lot of them have been doing that. On the leave behinds too, they also, just to add some more stuff, they've been putting we're hiring too,
Yep.
because you never know when you'll pick up somebody that somebody knows somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's about that. It's obviously our group does a lot of advertising themselves through the retail side, but the leave behind seem to be the best thing, and not like just a good side like you have on yours. I like the king, the crown, and all that stuff, so that works out good.
Yeah. Now, Nationwide Marketing Group, is that the Nationwide Buying group?
Yeah, that's the buying group, correct?
Very cool.
Yeah, I like to get involved. I'm part of the UASA advisory board, but I like to get involved and hear what I hear from you folks and try to help out where I can too.
Awesome. We appreciate you being on and being involved.
Oh, no problem.
Very cool. Maxine, I know you do some fun stuff marketing wise. What do you do?
I'm not so sure about that, but I'll think about that in a minute. But my comment that I wanted to make, but I didn't want to talk over people, was another thing about keeping track of the family pet, especially dogs, and keeping the names, is to weasel into the conversation and has Fluffy been put in her room? Kind of thing, because we don't want Fluffy getting hurt when the technician's here.
There you go. It's funny. I know a lot of companies do that, and legally and liability wise, you probably should, but I leave it up to the technicians. One of the interview questions I actually ask is if they like dogs. I find that and I might be wrong, but I find that a good judge of character if they like dogs and they're able to make that connection with a customer through their pet. So I think that's always really cool. So I don't tell them to put away their dogs. It actually, was it you, Doug, that had a custom dog treat made? Doug might have hopped off, but somebody I knew actually had custom dog treats made with their logo on them and would give them out to the dogs when they were doing service. I thought that was genius.
That's a great idea. I mean, anyway, back to the marketing. We do pretty much the standard stuff. We do business cards. Instead of buying the business card, refrigerator magnets, whatever, we got a stack of the magnets that we make our own business card magnets out of, because we don't do that many of them. And then most of our business does not come from Yelp or whatever. It comes from the referrals from prior customers and the local town-wide Facebook groups.
Yeah, that's huge, is the Facebook groups. I think it was I can't remember, or Ginny Seeley gets involved with all our Facebook groups and you become a kind of a trusted expert when you're referring, all sorts of different services, not just your own appliance service. So like she'll go out there and refer a plumber she knows or refer, but she's always on there constantly being involved and interactive with, people on these community Facebook groups. And then when it is something appliance related, of course she'll add her company, and because she's so well known on the group, most of them will actually refer her before she even gets to it. So it's getting involved in your local community Facebook groups is definitely huge. So that's really cool.
You mind
Anything
if
else
I?
from community?
Doug's back on.
Do you mind if I ask a question of the group, David?
No
We
question.
had one for you while you were popped off.
Oh no, I don't like when Maxine has questions for me. They're usually difficult and challenging ones.
It wasn't my question. It was Mr. Costanzo's.
Oh. No.
No, I was just asking, were you the one that had the dog treats made with your logo on them?
No, they were cookies for humans, but I guess a dog could eat them. No,
No,
that
no.
wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Somebody had dog treats made with their logo on them, and they'd give them to the dogs when they went into the houses.
Yeah, it's got like this little lawsuit and insurance claim things, and now I'm just afraid to try any of that stuff just because I'm worried that it's going to go wrong, you know. But so my question is, David, so except for you in Florida, this is our slow season in the rest of America. So it makes you start to wonder and think about things. So something we've been trying to think about is those customers that call in. We're all COD here. So they're calling in and they're on the fence. Should I get it looked at or should I just go out and buy a new one? And they're going to need information from us to help them get off that fence. And so a lot of times the price of the service fee to come out is what could cause them to, say, yeah, and flip one side or the other. Okay. So my question to you guys are those customers that are like on the fence and care about the price of the service fee, are they mostly all cheap customers looking for cheap service, or do you think there's more people that really are struggling about making that decision to repair or replace, and they're calling us trying to get some information over the phone, and our script isn't going to give enough information, so that causes them to continue to be a little stuck, like, damn, now I know how much it costs. I still don't know if it's worth it or not. And I can't teach all my CSRs to navigate whether something's worth fixing or not. So do you think it's more cheap kind of customers looking for a great deal or more customers struggling with the decision to repair or replace when they call in?
Honestly, I think every customer goes through that dilemma before they call, a repair company. I think even if you're looking at a microwave or a dishwasher or, some of these low end units, you have to question that, have things become disposable? So I don't think it's anything to do with being cheap or not being cheap. I just think they don't want to throw away any money to find out that, it's not worth repair. And in a lot of cases, they're absolutely right. So, um, that's how I kind of see it. We have a little bit of an advantage. I was talking to Scott earlier. He was asking how retail was. One advantage that we have is we actually give half of their service call fee towards a new appliance if their unit is condemned or they decide not to repair it. And that goes over really well.
Well, it's funny because we sell two, and that question came from could we try this? Now our sales department, we're not filthy rich like you guys, so the margins are pretty narrow. So to give up half a service fee or $50 or something, that's a lot of money. So I doubt you're marking your sales up 50 and getting your 50 back. I can't do that. I don't have margins like that. So our service side of the business is going to have to eat that $50 or that credit, and call that marketing money for people who are on the fence about whether to even call us or just go down to Lowe's and buy a new one. So if we could say to them, hey, listen, a portion of it or this much, $50 of the service fee would go towards a new appliance if you purchase from us, if you have us come out. Now they have like an in-store $50 credit. We could hook that customer and get them on the schedule. Now we fix about 6.8%, 6.8% of the appliances out of 10, right? 68% of the time we fix it. So it's a safe bet to get them to have us come out and look at their Bosch dishwasher. They're on the fence. We'll probably get the repair. But if we don't get the repair, we're going to have to cough up $50 to keep that customer with us so that we can sell them an appliance. You don't make money on your sale giving up all that money, do you, David?
Well, it depends on the margin on the product. If we're talking about a microwave, then no, you can go in the hole. But what we do, and it's not a hard and fast rule, is in 99% of cases now you're price matching. in sales.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we'll do whatever is better for the customer. So we won't do a $75 credit and price match the big box stores and so it kind of becomes a
tool.
wash in many
Yeah.
cases, to where it's, hey, the $75 is more than the discount of the big box store, so we'll give you the $75. And in that case, there's generally margin to do it anyway.
Okay.
And then if the big box store or the retail sale prices is better than the $75, which it usually is,
Yeah.
then they get the sale price. So it just depends on the situation. If it's a higher margin item, we'll price match and give the $75 credit on a higher dollar item like a refrigerator or something like that.
Just back to what you said about you think most customers are. I've been listening to a lot of calls lately. More, if I listen to 10, more than half, they just get on the phone. We go through the script. It's a great day. Nice to meet you. What's your name? Okay, great. What's your address? What's the appliance? Okay. It's $149.95 to come out. Okay, cool. Have a good day. Like more than half don't want to have a conversation. They just want to book it. And it's regular appliances and high-end appliances. I don't see a range there, but I am a little concerned about chasing after the scraps, the low-hanging fruit. Because if it's summertime and we're booked out for 4 days, if somebody wants to talk about repair or replace and the phones are ringing off the hook, we don't have time to be on that. But right now we do. And I just didn't want to go and chase customers in the end that are going to bite us in the butt because they're cheap.
Right.
So, but
yeah, and I think back to clarify what I was saying is they may not be asking that question when they call.
Yeah.
But I think that's in the decision-making process 100% of the time when they're deciding what to do when their appliance breaks. They're always going to say, is it better to fix it or better to buy it? And they call us because they've either made that decision or they're still on the fence, like you said. But I think everyone goes through that process of, is it worth it?
Well, I'm glad I brought it up because if you're doing it, you're like the greatest businessman I know. So if you're not going broke doing that, I'm going to do it and just trust that it works. So thank you.
Well, you don't have to do half. You can say $25 goes towards a new appliance, or, you can do whatever you want, but it's a nice lead in when the customer does say, oh, but do I really want to have it fixed? Is it going to be more than the cost of a new one? You say, well, listen, we take some of the risk out of that by offering you a credit towards a new appliance if, they do find that it's not repairable or you decide not to repair it.
Love it. Love it.
Hey, David, one of our members, Lindley, he put on there in the chat what he does. He gives service loyalty credit to the customer if they call up like that. Depends. People are on the fence most, but his is tiered to the amount, so everybody get a chance to see that in the chat.
Yeah, it's $30 for anything between $500 and $999, $1,000 to $1,999 is $40 off, and anything over $2,000 is $50. So as the price of appliance goes up, we increase the service loyalty credit. We charge anywhere from $109 to $139 for most service costs.
That's great. I love that tiered approach.
Yeah.
Very cool. Kind of gets you out of the, it can be a little uncomfortable when we say, oh, well, we can't price match and give $75. Sometimes customers, feel like they're not getting, the best deal. But I like, if you give a $30 credit on a low price appliance, you're still going to be in the green, even with price matching in 99% of the case. So that's great. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been working for us. We've been doing it since some form of that since 2004. So when we've been doing that. Yeah.
Bobby asked how many take advantage of the loyalty credit.
It does help. I mean, but we've been in business since 1947, kind of like you, since 1946. So we've got a lot of long-term customers, and some people just come back and shop with us, and they get it. But it does help. I think it does help for new customers. The thing that we sell, you talk about price matching, and the thing that I've been thrust into the appliance sales manager role right now. And the thing that I talk about with people is We deliver our own product. We don't use a third party. So you know who's coming to your house. And you can't rate or review the guys that come into your house, but you can rate mine. And that we do our own service and we have our own technicians. If you have a problem, we're going to be here for you. We're not the big box. That's where I leave it at.
Yeah, you build the value, and that we have to do that in a lot of cases when we can't price match. You know, there's scenarios where it just doesn't make sense, and you're not going to make any money on that deal, and you have to be honest with the customer and say, here's our advantages, here's why people buy from us, and they're going to spend a few extra dollars to do it.
Yeah, everybody can't be your customer. Even Walmart doesn't sell everybody.
Right.
Even Walmart. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scott, I see you jumped on.
Matt from Ace Appliance in Toledo. I wanted to jump in. We give the customer 25% off the service call with a parts repair, which really helps us sell a lot of service customers. We service over 20,000 COD customers per year. And that 25% off the service call with a parts repair really reels the customers in and makes them feel like they're getting a value for the dollar. So it really helps. So we have a cheaper service call, $99. So it's $74.25 with a parts repair, and then they pay parts and labor on top of that.
That's really cool.
That helps a lot.
Very, very cool. Our company actually does the Wave service call, which I know everyone, there's very divided opinions over that.
Right.
But it's kind of the same idea. We're giving a credit on the service, to go towards the flat rate repair, and they decide, if that's what they want to do. But it kind of entices them. Like I like the idea of still breaking out parts and labor and charging the service call fee, but discounting that service call fee. That's a great idea.
The problem that we had when we tried going book rate and it wasn't broke down, everybody goes online and they shop and see what the part cost is. And then they see, well, the flat rate, well, how much is your labor and how much they want. People in our area, they wanted a breakdown. And we had so many complaints when we went to the flat rate. There was just too many complaints. And even though we would try to explain it to the consumer, it was tough to explain because they'd go online and find out what a belt cost, and then, we do a flat rate and give them the service call free. And they'd say, wait a minute, you're charging me X amount of dollars for labor. So we had too many complaints. Now that we've went to just discounting the service call with a parts repair, our complaints have gone down to, less than 0.5%. And it's worked out great. And we've done it this way for multiple years now. So do you get a lot of complaints from the giving away the service call on the flat rate system when you go out of the blue book rate? Do you get a lot of consumer complaints?
No, I wouldn't say a lot. I mean, they definitely come in like you. We service all COD and a lot of doors a day. But we do get the customer that wants it broken down, and normally those come to me, and I'll break it down for the customer. I'll say, hey, this is the retail price of the part. We got 2 trips into your home. We've got shipping of the part. And I'll just show them all the costs associated with doing the job. And they generally come back and say, okay, that makes sense. A lot of times people are like, well, if it's not the part, then it's just the labor. Well, no, there's shipping, there's trips to your home, there's, everything else associated with the cost of that job. So, we're in it to make money. And I tell customers that, listen, we have to make a profit on what we do. We have to pay our guys. We have all the overhead. We also have a parts store. So if, I often bring up with them, listen, you don't have to do the job, we don't have to do the job. We're happy to just get you the parts. We'll sell them to you, the OEM parts. It's kind of a way of, we know they're not going to do the job themselves. It's just kind of a way to show them, hey, we're not trying to get over on you. If you want to DIY it, we'll help you with that, by selling you the part. So,
right.
Yeah, you got to handle it kind of with kid gloves.
Right.
And
my service manager was consuming a lot of his time, with trying to explain, because we do such a large volume of customers that, it was spending too much time on the phone. But since we went to just discounting the service call only with a parts repair, has dropped our consumer complaints down, and time on the phone, trying to get, customers that want to break down the parts and labor. Well, it sounds like you've got it down to an art. But we spent so much time, with customers trying to explain to them, what the breakdown was, and a lot of them still weren't happy after that. So,
Yeah.
we're in Ohio, so we're in Ohio, so a lot of people don't. Where you located at?
We're in South Florida.
Oh, South Florida. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think a
So-
lot of it also comes down to training the technicians. I find that new technicians that haven't been in this type of pricing structure, they struggle explaining it to the customer. So it takes a lot of training. But at this point, we do one every 3 months that ends up coming to me because, they're concerned about pricing. And it's something we get reviews over too. Sometimes, if there's a negative review, I mean, it sometimes comes down to pricing. But
Right.
you can't avoid that too. Sometimes, even if you're breaking out parts and labor, they're going to say, well, you marked up the part, or how is your labor 125 an hour, or how, they're going to find something to complain about if they're price shopping.
Right. Absolutely. No question.
So one other thing that I wanted to bring up is another thing that you own, which is your presence online. And the biggest thing that you own is your reviews and your profiles online with those reviews. I was wondering what people are doing to increase the amount of reviews they have for their companies.
Well, I get my technicians in every company meeting. We have a company meeting every month, and I encourage our technicians to tell people to take and post a review if they're happy with their service online. And every month at our company meeting, and I encourage the technician to tell the consumer, if you're happy with my service, my name is Craig, please post a review online on Google or any social media. So we pull those reviews off for each technician. We put them into a bucket and we draw tickets, and we pull 5 tickets and give them $100 cash for the top 5 guys that have the most reviews. So so that really helps generate a lot of reviews. And then we do follow-up letters to all of our customers also, asking for a Google review also. But really, the technicians are the ones that drive the reviews in. It's amazing. We've got over 5,000 5-star reviews online, and it's all from the technicians because they build the rapport with the consumer out there, and if they're happy with the technicians tell the customers, hey, we're having a little contest. If you're happy with my service, could you help me out and post a review online? And we're getting, we've got a 4.9 rating with over 5,000 reviews online right now. So the technicians are the one that if you can convince the technicians or bonus the technicians to do those reviews, they'll drive those reviews in all day long.
Yeah, 100% on board with that. Can you guys see my screen?
I'm on a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Anybody else? Can
Yes.
you guys see me? So this is a contest. We run a review contest every 2 to 3 months. We'll run it, and it generally runs a month. So this was ours for March. Now I sometimes I'll incorporate other things, like we did a close rate on repairs. So half the contest was on how many repairs are being sold versus service calls only, and the other half of the contest was on reviews. So on the review side, the first place for the number of reviews for the month got $500. The second place got $250, and the third place got $100. I also get the office involved, and any that mention the office staff, their name in their review. Again, I did first place gets $500 and second place gets $250. Just for the month of March, and it was actually only 3 weeks because we did this. We launched this about the into the first week of March. We got 71 reviews in a matter of three weeks. It works out to about $29 a review is what the payout ended up being. But it pumps your guys up. They love it. We pay it out in cash. And they absolutely love having the incentive, the contest. It creates competition between all your techs. And it's great. We have just like you, we have a 4.9 star review. We went from 1,791 reviews to 1,862 just from this 3-week.
What's the name of your company?
Appliance King of America.
Appliance King of America. I was just going to Google it real quick.
Yeah, here I have it up. So we have.
Well, I'm on a cell phone. I just got to my computer.
Oh, gotcha. We have 4 different locations. This is our main location I just put up on the screen. But on all 4 locations, we have a 4.9 review rating, and generally good reviews. You also want to respond to your reviews. That's just as important to your brand is how you respond to these reviews. So every review should have a response. We have a company, we use Servicers Web. We have them do most of our responses. I handle any of the negative reviews myself. I don't want them writing my responses for the negative reviews because I like to handle those with kid gloves and very specific about how I respond to those. So,
right.
Yeah. Another cool thing, anyone else have any ways to drive more reviews that haven't been mentioned?
I do have a comment
Yeah.
about the negative reviews.
Yeah.
So when I've only had a few of them. We have 4.9 rating in Sarasota, but I started using AI, ChatGPT, to respond to the views, and even the negative ones. I had one negative one, and I put it in there, and I was blown away by the response that I got. And actually, then the customer ended up calling me and resolving the issue.
Wow.
So even, AI can be a big benefit at that.
Very cool. I've never used it for, I think Servicers Web, I think they use AI to respond to the positive reviews. But no, that's really cool.
But it's free, and it only takes literally 10 seconds for it and just to see what you get. And if you don't like it, but it was a whole lot better response than I probably would have come up with myself.
Yeah, that's super cool. Here's an example just of a negative review and the response that I provided, kind of going right back to what we were talking about earlier. It happened to be on price, so I have to justify, pricing and why we charge what we charge. And I like to really tailor the review around the person. So I think AI would be a good starting point, and I think you can go in and edit it from there. Really cool. I think I'm going to start trying that out just to give me a starting point. What else? Anyone else driving reviews or have?
Can I ask one
Well,
question?
Sure.
So my question is real quick. How do you keep, is that the Servicers Web, or how do you keep track of the text reviews and kind of your breakdown? So like, how do you get those reports at the end of the month?
So we manually scrape them. If you go to your Google, we generally just do Google reviews to keep it simple to track. But if you just go to newest here on the your company profile,
Mm-hmm.
you can see. First of all, we instruct the technicians to make sure that they mention their name.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people, like, of course, there's Lane Commander. Lane Commander probably isn't his name. I mean, it might be, but if we didn't have that technician's name and that name for the Google profile didn't match up to the service call, they wouldn't get credit for it. So
Right.
we have to mention the tech's name, and that also makes the review more personal. So it's kind of a win-win by having them mention the tech's name.
Gotcha. Yeah, we manually do it too. I was just wondering if you had like a more streamlined, but yeah, manual seems to be the way to go, and just kind of scrape their names through the reviews.
Yeah, we keep up with it as we go. So like daily, you know, the office staff has a tally sheet that they keep up, and then they about once a week will release an update so all the techs can see where everybody's at with how many reviews per technician, and
Mm,
they get on each other like, oh, I'm gonna get more reviews than you this week,
mhm.
or you know,
Okay,
it's you know, we use it as kind of ammunition to pump up the techs and keep them excited about the contest.
gotcha. So yeah, you have that like posted and they can see it updated as the
Yep.
office staff updates it.
Yep, we have a
Okay,
company chat. We use Google Chat, and we post all the updates on the Google chat room that we have with the technicians.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Of course. One other cool thing that we do, a lot of people send out newsletters, right, to their customers, and our newsletters are made by Servicers Web. That's another thing that they do for us. But one thing that we started doing, and Ginny Seeley gave us this idea, is we put a family update in there. So if you can see my screen, like this is, I have my wife write these every month, and it's an update on the family, like what we've done over the last month. You know, if we went on vacation, we put that in there. You can see on the screen, like my son had a dance, a school dance that, you know, was his big thing for the month. So we put that in there. But even down to like I had surgery a few weeks ago and had my gallbladder removed, and put that in the newsletter just to as kind of it's a connection point with the customer. And people love it. People will, you know, email me back, you know, from the newsletter and say, "Oh my gosh, you know, hope you're feeling better," or, you know, which is cool because it actually gets them reading the newsletter. You know, if it's just about how, you know, like it starts off with truth about noisy refrigerators, people are going to glance at that and not open the email a lot of times. But having that family update, we've found to be really, really kind of a cool way to differentiate our newsletter from a standard, you know, cookie cutter newsletter out there. Anyone else doing a newsletter monthly or quarterly or?
No, no, we do what's called social green thumb, where we can extract customer information from service desk, and we send out you know, reminders to customers where they can click on a link and then just put a Google review up, and so it basically will send them a text message right to their phone, and they can click on the link. It's kind of, you guys probably have heard about Broadly. There's a few different platforms like that out there, but that seems to help when we do send the we go through and send you know, manual links out to consumers you know, on a daily basis. We wait 3 days after the service is done and make sure that the call's completed. Then we send them out a review link, and that seems to generate a lot of additional reviews also.
Very cool. Very cool. What else do you guys do to grow your brand? Imaging, branding. Obviously, we all have our websites. We wrap all of our trucks. I brand everything. Brand shirts. We have branded hats. The guys all get jackets with our brand on it. We brand Yetis. Give them out for Christmas to the technicians. What other ways are you guys branding yourself, putting your name on things? Any other cool ideas?
I make sure that all of our technicians put a sticker on the appliance next to the model number. We confirm it with the customer and make sure it's okay. Then I make the technicians take a picture of it, that it's on the appliance. And 98% of the customers are okay with it because it's a 25% off coupon. We put it right next to the model number on the appliance. And then every week I send a spreadsheet out to the technicians. They have to hit at least 90% every week with stickers on the appliance. They take a picture, and then it gets you know, sent to service desk to confirm that we have a sticker. And I can't tell you how many customers call and say, "Hey, I went and looked at my model number. I had a problem with my appliance, and I found your sticker with the 25% off discount coupon." That has generated a ton of business for us, and we've been doing that for years. And every week like I said, the technicians have to hit 90% or they get penalized. If they don't hit 90%, customer retention with the sticker on the appliance. And it's a sticker that's easily removed too. If the customer doesn't like it, it doesn't leave any residue if they want to remove the sticker.
Are you, oh, what was I gonna ask? I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I can't remember. Are you, what was I gonna say? I can't remember. It's gonna come to me.
Yeah, no worries.
Anyone else doing?
No, but
go ahead.
I said it does. It just helps. I mean, I can't tell you how many people that went to look for their model number on their appliance and found their sticker because, an average appliance repair is done every 3.2 years. So people forget who they called and they have no idea who they called until they go to look for their model.
I finally remember. Are you manually scraping those out of service desk? Are you having somebody check every call, every picture, or how are you doing that?
Yeah, well, one person in our office goes into every service call. They check and make sure there's a picture. And then we put it on a Google Doc sheet and we send it out to the technicians every week and with a percentage of what percentages they have to hit 90% every week on stickers. Occasionally they'll forget one, but they have to hit 90%. And they do, because they know that we're monitoring it. And it really does help. I mean, I can't tell you how many people call because they found our sticker next to the model number on their appliance.
What happens if they do or don't do it? Do they get an incentive if they do or get in trouble if they don't?
No, there's no incentive. They just have to hit 90%. If they hit under 90%, they get charged $15 for each sticker they miss under 90%.
Wow.
And they do it every time. They do it every time. So, I mean, occasionally they'll forget one, but they're all hitting 90% every week. They don't want to be penalized. And they make good money. I mean, our technicians are in the top 1% of the highest paid technicians in the country. So I expect it, and they don't get any incentives to do it, but they do get an incentive because their demographic area that we dispatch our technicians by zip code area, so they're building their area. That's the incentive they get. They're going to get more customers in their area.
Very cool. I like it. Savage with the $15 per sticker. That's savage.
Oh, that's nothing. Look at their paycheck every week. If they lost $15, it's not going to break them. Believe me.
No, I know that's cool.
But nobody wants to give up a nickel. I know that. But no, they're good. They're building up their area, and that's the way I present it to them. You're building your area, and it's your area, and you're building it. And so the guys are perfectly fine with it, and they know that they're helping the company and they're helping themselves.
Yeah, very, very cool. What else? What else are people doing to grow their brand? Go ahead, Scott.
So one thing that a lot of people don't know about or do is they don't claim their knowledge panel. Google, if you claim all your knowledge panels of everything that's assembled for you on Google, on the internet, it gives you more authority. It builds your brand. It builds your personal brand and your business brand.
What are you claiming?
Your knowledge panel.
Your knowledge count?
Your knowledge panel.
Panel? I've never even heard of this.
So Google has a knowledge panel on everybody. So like if you do a podcast or anything like that, there's 3 little bubbles beside that. There's 3 little bubbles at the top beside it. You need to go in and you need to claim it. If you claim it, it gives you more authority within Google. So like Google your name, and then everywhere on Google that they have information about you, like any videos or podcasts or anything like that, you can go in there, you can claim it. You have to go through a process to claim it, but you can claim that information and it'll tie that to you and your business.
Huh.
And so the more knowledge panels you have, the higher ranking you have. I mean, you would be surprised at how low your actual website and everything ranks as far as authority goes. And the only reason I know this, I'm taking a class on it right now. I take a class every week on on Google and with a search engine engineer. He's not an SEO guy because he's actually a search engine engineer, the guy I'm taking the class with. But it's pretty good. There's a lot of information out there. I just don't trust SEO companies. Not that they're bad. The company I'm using right now, I think is pretty good, but I find a lot of things wrong with, you know, reusing content and stuff like that. Your content needs to be original. And there's ways to check to make sure your content is original. If it's not doing you any good whatsoever.
And same with AI, aren't they beginning to detect the AI and not give
Not
you
yet. Not yet. It's coming, but they're not. Google has not recognized that you're using AI to build your content yet, but they're saying another year or so they'll be able to detect it, but it's not capable of it yet. The guy that I'm taking the class from, man, he does all the marketing for Nike. I looked him up the other day. He worth $260 million. But he's really good. He's definitely good. I've learned a lot over the last 3 weeks.
What's the guy's name?
Dennis Yu.
Dennis, what's the last name?
I'll send it to you, David.
All
I'll
right,
send you all the information. It's
Very
worth it. I mean, it'll save you a lot of money. He's like, you should never pay an SEO company ever. So
very cool.
Yeah, we're also, you know, selling the Ace Appliance Protection Plan to retain customers also. We hold our own paper. We hold our own contracts, and we for $3.99 per month, we cover the parts, labor, and service cost for customers. And so we started the Ace Appliance Protection Plan 2 years ago, and we sold over 8,000 contracts already. And that's been phenomenal retention for our customers. And then we also, if for some reason there's a condemn, you know, we give the consumer a discount of $100 to purchase an appliance from us if it's condemned through our protection plan. And we bill customers out monthly or annually on the plan, but that has been huge for us.
I remember you talking that I think about a year ago when you were first starting it, a year or two ago, and I went on your website and peeled off the contract or the document you had, and I was gonna implement it. I just never got around to it. How's it doing now?
It's making more money than we are doing 20,000 COD calls per year. We're making more money on the contracts than we are doing 20,000 COD calls. So that's how well it's doing.
Wow.
It's a cash cow. It's a cash cow. Better than, and our goal is to hit 20,000 contracts in the next 5 years. Our goal is to hit 10,000 by the end of this calendar year. But I think we'll have about 20,000 within the next 5 years. And the margins are incredible. I mean, everybody thinks, you know, how can you do it for $3.99 per month? But you just look at it's all a numbers game. You take $4 a month times 8,000. That's $32,000 a month coming in, and you know, the numbers are phenomenal. We're only getting about 1.8% of those customers calling in for repairs on a monthly basis. And we pre-screen every call coming in, so we make sure that they're all pre-screened, and we make sure that if they're valid calls coming in on products that we cover, and you know what's on the protection plan, that it's not cosmetic or something else. But it's phenomenal. I mean, when we were starting the plan, you know, we priced out the manufacturers, and we were wondering, how are they doing it? How are they making money at such a low rate? It's all in volume, and it's unbelievable. If anybody could do it for their own business, you know, it retains the customer, and it's a phenomenal return on your investment. So it's big money. So you know, that will be better than what we could ever do on COD business. And we're 97% COD. So we only do a small number of Whirlpool warranties on what we sell. We sell some Whirlpool products, Whirlpool and Maytag. So we're only doing about 3% warranty work. So But
What was the name of the company
the,
again? Ace Appliance?
Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio.
Very, very cool. And the terms and conditions are on the website, if I remember right.
Everything's on, yeah, we're transparent. Everything's on the website. Everything that we cover. If you go to the Ace Appliance Protection Plan, you can go to the terms and conditions, what's covered, what's not covered. Pricing is there. We're transparent on everything. And it's, you know, for $4 a month, $48 a year, people love it. Now, we're not doing the high-end products. We don't do the Viking, the higher-end products because, you know, of course, you can't afford to do it. We're just doing the average products that are out there: Frigidaire, Electrolux, Maytag, Whirlpool, GE. You know, all of the standard brands. We're not into the high end because we didn't want to reprice everything and have you know, layered, multi-level pricing. So we have our terms and conditions just on the basic products, but it's worked out phenomenal. And it's, our technicians get 50% commission when they sell the protection plan. So it's a win for them, it's a win for the company, and it's a win for the customer. So it's a win all the way around. And customers love it that are on the plan because we get to them right away. There's no deductible. They're not on hold on an 800 number. They call us directly for everything. And you know, it's a win all the way around.
Very cool. I just posted your website in the chat, if you don't mind. I already did it. So.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Very cool. That's a awesome way to end the laundry room. I think that is a really cool program and a great way to retain customers for sure.
There's also a couple of
Right.
requests from Bobby Hall for Scott to drop the name of the guy in the chat.
Oh, what was the name?
Presenter.
Dennis Scott. What was the name? Dennis. What was the last name? Scott. Can you hear me? You're muted.
His name is Vu, Dennis Vu. I just, can you hear me?
Yeah, spell it for me, the last name.
It's YU.
Oh, okay.
I just ran your David, I won't talk about it here online in front of everybody, but I just ran your whole website through his to see how it grades and the authority on it. And I'll send it to you after we're through. You would be
Very cool.
surprised of what and it tells you what you need to do to get more authority.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Thank you.
So if you can give me what's your email?
I'm going to post it right in the chat.
Okay.
So Dennis YU, correct?
Yes.
So is this a paid program through Dennis that you can subcontract him to evaluate, or is this just classes that you take with Dennis?
You can. I mean, he has a $1 a day program where your advertisement costs $1 a day. That's his whole program. But you just have to look him up. He's unbelievable. I started taking his class and he gave me his personal cell phone number and everything. So he's really a great person. Let me just say that he's a great person.
Okay. Wow. Fantastic. Great information. It's always good to be able to improve our website, regardless of how well we think it's doing. We want to look at any improvements that we can to have that benefit, especially on the local search listings when you're not paying for pay-per-click or, so that's great.
I just posted the website. Blitz Metrics, is that right, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just posted the website up on the chat too. Awesome,
Excellent.
guys. Any other
Excellent.
questions or comments before we wrap this up? All right. Well, appreciate everyone being on and all the insight. I think it was a great conversation, and everyone have a great rest of your week.
Okay. You too.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Take care.